this down. Okay, and that's just all I'm using for oil there is just automatic transmission fluid, which works fine as an oil. You don't have to have anything in particular. You just need a light oil on your stone. Just keeps it from filling up. So what we're going to do here is just go through sharpening a spoon knife. You can see it's round, obviously, so it's a little trickier than just sharpening a straight type knife. So what I do usually, I kind of check it. I don't have any real, I'm pretty careful with this. It's usually green wood only, so don't really have any nicks or anything in it. So what I do is I go around it, and I kind of usually only work one side at a time. So all I'm doing is just working that outside edge a little bit. And these, I never let these get real dull. And I'm just kind of following the bevel of the knife here. It's got, you can see the angle, and I'm just kind of following that. This is a real fine stone. It's a hard white, which is not quite as fine as usually a hard black, but this happens to be a radius slip. You can use anything you want. As far as the shape of the stone, doesn't really matter. I just always have this stone around for touching up lathe tools and things when I'm doing demonstrations. And so I use it a lot for doing this too. And you could single stroke this, but I find doing a kind of a circular pattern kind of spreads the wear on my stone, and it kind of allows me to just work my way around here real quickly. And I'm going to turn it around so I can get that other side. You can see as it's going there, I'm scraping oil off to that inside. And then as you get going, you'll feel it start to get a little bit of a, it's probably going to put a little fine burr to the inside. And then we'll deal with that here in a minute. But like I said, I don't let these get really dull. So unless something happens to it, I'm probably not going to go after it with a coarse stone or anything, because there's just no need. The only thing you don't want to do is when you're doing this, you don't want to get to doing this, trying to sharpen your knife faster. Because if you get your angle down there too steep, the knife just won't cut right. You want to keep that pretty much to the bevel of the knife. And you got a pretty wide bevel there to write on, so it's not a big deal to hang on to that. And I'm not saying what I do there, I perfectly stay with that bevel, but I stay pretty close. And if I was really dull, I might jump to like a little coarser stone, or I've got a 600 grit diamond I might go after it with plate too. But this works pretty good for what I do. So I've got a pretty good deal on the outside. I'm starting to feel just a little bit of a burr form into the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of wipe the oil off of it. Put my stone down. So getting to the inside of this is a little trickier because obviously it's round. And so you need either a round stone, which a lot of people don't have. And so I'm going to demonstrate it with some, this is some worn 400 paper here and a dowel rod. And this works just fine as a way to do this. I have a ceramic stone I use sometimes on the inside. But I just take this and usually rest it here on my bench. And then I'll just kind of go around in here. Again, I'm following that bevel on the inside. And you can just stand it up on end. You're not taking much off in here. You're just kind of deburring it, basically, is all you're doing. Oops. Hard to do on this horse. Check it and see what you got there. Got a pretty nice little edge going around there. And that's usually, if I was out at a show or something, that's pretty much where I'd leave it. Now, if I'm here in my own shop, I've got a power leather strop wheel, and I'd probably take it to the wheel and go ahead and hit it on that as well. But you can belt cup here, you can kind of. This is dry as a bone here, this stuff is. Some dry sycamore, but you can see she's cutting nice. If you have any questions about how to sharpen things and different tools, because I use a lot of tools, and so I sharpen a lot of different things, but be glad to make a video about helping you out. But I get the question on the spoon knives a lot, and they're not hard to sharpen. It's just kind of learning how to sharpen them is more what it amounts to.